And I actually forgot to put a title in here. Um, because this other account requires me to put a title, so I'm just gonna usually I just throw a word. I mean, not even a word, just a letter. Okay. All right. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo buddhaya, namo dhammaya, namo sanghaya, namo buddhaya, namo dhammaya, namo sanghaya. Morning again to everybody here on the west side, east side, and west side. It's now almost 2 in the morning. Why is Ajahn Chidao up at 2 in the morning? Well, somewhere down the line, I underestimated my body. Um, and for the first time, I was not able to sleep on the airplane. So if we take 12, I don't even, I can't calculate right now, but 6 in the morning yesterday. Today, now Tuesday, 2 in the morning. Yesterday, 6 in the morning, I came back, had an assignment at 9, took on that assignment, went to my dad's office and passed out for 4 hours, just dead, DOA, dead on arrival. And so now I'm here. There's some things on my mind, and I wanted to just get it out of the way before I forget. I'm traveling to Arizona next week, and then back to California, where I just was, and then back to Arizona, and then probably back to Georgia, and then all the way down to Orlando, and then back to St. Pete, and then the possibility of me going to Nepal, which um, sent I published that TikTok video for all of you. So the monastic agenda is going to be off the chain. First and foremost, present with me to my left here on the screen down here is novice D, who is training with me. And right now, I don't want to publish anything yet with the novice training program because it's still ongoing, and the possibility of ordaining another novice uh, probably in the next few days. So students' lives change, and I got this. In fact, something about these 2 days, right? I went to Cali to try to fix a family in 2 days. I did it, by the way, but only one out of two families because the other family was into retail and they were far away. The mom was, and I couldn't get to the kids because the mom couldn't convince the kids. It's crazy, adolescence. Um, what was I? Oh, something about the 2 days, right? And then so technically, I only have Wednesday and Thursday to do this ordination if time permits. Um, so anyway, so what I want to start off with is just a little bit of the California situation. And then I want to talk about the Katina ceremony. And then I want to talk about my research into addiction and impulsivity, and how that relates to me firing this up right now. And that laptop's gonna die. So what's going on with these cords? This is not good. What's going on with this cord? You guys give me 1 second. The struggle of a social media monk. That's gonna be on my next book. Why is this cord like this? Okay, so we use this cord. Um, plug. Unplug this. Take this over here. Plug this one in. And please comply. Is that a charging sign? Great. Wonderful. Okay. Back here. Okay. I well, let me even back up even one more step from today's talk, today's Dharma talk, scholarly biweekly discussion on the non-self. So if you missed the biweekly, I suggest you go back and watch that. It was very profound. It was very random and without any attachment to the suttas. Usually, they activate us for a talk, and then they attach the sutta central or access to insight, which is the citation, for us to look it over, for me to look it over. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so we're talking about the threefold training and or the Four Noble Truths or something out of the 84,000 teaching, a random pick out of the 84,000 teaching. And they're like, okay, great. But today was not that case. So, but it was the subject of my specialty because I have been meditating for so long, 23 years. So I just jumped right into it. I was the first one to raise my hand and first one to contribute. I should bear with me here. All right. So with an awareness, and I'm invoking uh, the me, my, and the I, because today's talk's going to be about me. I just don't want people to think why the venerable is trying to flex. Trust me, I'm not trying to flex it. It's about you guys. It's not about me. Okay. Um, I've been known to fix families in a week using 19 years of social work experience, encountering hundreds and perhaps up to thousands of families in my lifetime. So therefore, I'm trained, to like see dynamics play out when families try to hide or people try to hide information, and not that they want to hide it, it just sits there in their subconscious and unconscious. So, some of us counselors have to figure out a way how to unbury the good, the bad, and the ugly so that we can figure out, you can't work with something if you don't know what the truth is in regards to the family system and unit. It gets deep. I didn't realize how deep the family situation over there was because it's number one, people never tell me what's going on. They tell me surface level, literally like, like the kind of like the Titanic, the iceberg, like on top. And then once I get there and start interviewing certain individuals, gather all of that in my little notepad, and then I sit real quiet at night. And I sit real quiet in their car, you know, and then they like me. And if they like me, they start talking even more, and that information just comes in. The two young boys, uh, they're up at like 3, 4 in the morning, and I've laid on the couch. They offered the room. I said, no, 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 no. I'll be out here. I'll be out here. I'll be on the couch. I actually wanted the floor, but there was just nowhere that I could find to. So I said, I'll go over there. They were Christians, and so I didn't want to, just be awkward and lay on the floor. They wouldn't understand half of our practice. So, and it just information just started flushing. So much information to process. Then I had to report back to the aunt. I had to report back to certain people, and then I was cross-sectional and intersections with people trying to put the puzzles together. It was like, it's like buying 5 boxes of Legos and they're all over the place, and little Joey just dumps all the pieces out at the same time together, and we don't know this piece going to that box, and we don't know if this piece goes to the first box: truck, car, boat, dinosaur. So that was that was just something else. But I'm good at this, and I was able to piece it together. My live stream while I was on Huntington Beach, I did not jump in the water. And I'm glad I didn't. Number one, I would have gotten sick because the temperature dropped like that, like night and day. As soon as you get to the beach in the city, 100 degrees, beach 70, the wind adds another -10. You hit the water is about 40 degrees. So when I was there, I just wanted to feel my environment, and there was just a million people out on the beach surfing. And I'm just looking for fins, trying to look for sharks because, it's California. It's all things that you see in the movies. And I'm just trying to figure it out and report back to people and gather more information. In the end, one of the student I described as one of the best lawyers I have ever interviewed, who gave me a very hard time. It was a good challenge, but I mean, I would say it was just a little achy, just a little exhausting, because it was at night and that's the wrong time to duel. These kids, they're younger than I am. I'm 37. And when they draw their swords, oh, that's the wrong time. Another analogy is that it's like the Star Wars thing where they pull out lightsabers and they start going at it, and it just looks exhausting, and it just looks like, man, Luke Skywalker's really got to try hard to defeat Darth Vader. Well, these kids were doing that. And what I mean by lawyer is that they didn't go to law school, they didn't graduate law school. But the way how they were trying to make their case speech and debate with me and just try to win the argument, what wasn't going to happen? Wasn't going to happen. Yesterday's talk was on the ego. And I'm not trying to flex. Trust, I'm not trying to say I'm, you know, this and that, but I'm really good at bringing the ego forth. So yesterday's Dhamma talk discussion, I says, whoever is asking these questions about the ego and the practice of the non-self and me, my, and I, and existent, non-existent, duality, non-duality, just take yourself to a monastery, see the Theravadan monk, and just renounce, give up, and let them bring forth your ego, and let them too also decimate your ego because you let them. It's the best way to understand anatta lakkhana sutta and the practice of anatta. So I just wanted to do it with a student, and I realized he wasn't going to give up. Information goes out, he counters, out, just counter, just constant countering with me. And it was fun, but then I knew when to stop and rest to get a good night's sleep so that we can duel again tomorrow. But eventually, luckily the student was not attached to it, meaning they're demonstrating the ability to understand and respect the Sangha and understand some levels of the Four Noble Truths. So I really appreciate that challenge. That that keeps me very mentally sharp when there's challenges that arise in family therapy. So that is one adolescent, and the other adolescent, gaming addiction, didn't really know what to do with his life. Pretty fit fella. So the parents were talking about, you're pretty fit, you're a boy, why don't you consider military or law enforcement? He leaned towards law enforcement. So on my last day, why don't you consider military or law enforcement? He leaned towards law enforcement. So on my last day, we went to LAPD. We couldn't ask. Oh, I need to publish that, by the way. That's in one of these phones here in front of me. We got to talk to a 22-year veteran LAPD officer who very well spoken and still wearing the badge and doing it for the right reason. And he's just there to help people and to inspire young students as such. And it touched me. There'll be two parts to it, the first part and then the last part, because the TikTok thing only does 10 minutes intervals. And the second part brought me to tears, and I think I'm going to put that in the title so you guys can look for it tonight. But he said a lot of very ethical and moral things, like, don't forget why you do this job. Now, he didn't beat around the bush. Yes, it involves a lot of paperwork, so I just really appreciated the honesty. This was a very meaningful encounter to a child, to an adolescent. And remember, adolescent is defined under 25 years old. So you're still a kid in my eyes if you're under 25, okay? Even though here in Florida, the law says 19 to be a cop, you're still a kid to me. You will always be a kid in the eyes of the elders. We are the elders of the elders of the elders on this planet. Trust me. What was I going to say? So there's the full support of the family in the background. The child steps forward. The child speaks to the officer. The officer asks questions. The child answers, just all sorts of curiosity questions to make sure that he was going to be fit, potential, and likely candidate for LAPD. It was beautiful. We got in the van. The child says, "I'm going to do it. No if buts about. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the college thing. I'm going to do reserves." You know, child's 18 years old. Child's going to do LAPD reserve. You get a badge, uniform, no gun. But, you know, get your foot through the door. So I look forward to seeing them growing. The other child, aka lawyer, likes me, looks up to me. Amazing. There's hope. There's hope that it's going to be a continuous dialogue, and there's going to be hope that, you know, change are going to take place gradually, small increment. The family is Catholic, so we went to the local diocese. I was able to work with the pastor there. So we have that support. So which is all sides and angles of medicine coming into this family in order to ensure that they receive world-class care in 2 days. So I'm happy to report all of that back to all of you because this was a public challenge. And I think that's why I was not able to sleep on my way back. And it is no different than how I described my former manager, Ben Emilio, at the jewelry store. I used to be a jeweler, used to sell diamonds. And Ben used to walk around the store talking to himself, trying to anticipate a sale, like $10,000, $20,000 diamond sale. So it obviously was pending on the shelves of his mind. No different when I walk away from a family realizing that, yes, it was a victory. People's lives were changed in 2 days. But then I couldn't help but to sit on the plane and ask the what ifs. To ask the what ifs. They changed their mind. What if this? What if that? Then it brought even a deeper context when I asked Professor Andrew at Edgar College in family therapy counseling class. And I said, Professor, you know, we all looked up. This woman was like God in counseling to us. She had 25, 30 years of counseling experience. She was an MFT, marriage family therapist, PhD. Her mother's also a professor. So, you know, we're looking at God, basically. We're in her 20s, so we're looking at a woman who has control over the body of knowledge of the field that we were getting into. And I asked Professor Giroux, I said, how many families or kids do you think you have impacted? Oh, no. One of my live stream just went off. So let me hit this thing again on. So I have 2 Facebook accounts. This one's quick. This one is pretty quick. Thank God I didn't do this when I did my talk with the monastic panel. Okay. This is part 2 because we got cut off there on Orange account, Facebook. All right, continuing. And there was this hesitation and pause. And I believe I remember seeing Dr. Giroux look down on the floor. And at that moment, I realized that it's not a black and white answer. So I believe that in her 25 years, she probably impacted thousands of students, but they're subject to change. And that was what's so hard for me to accept. That if I could just leave it as that, leave it as the way that I got them to be, a trajectory towards the future, do this. Do this in memory of me. No different than what Jesus said when he broke bread and wine. Do this in memory of me. So I, you know, I'm human. I'm not an arahant. I'm not a saint. And I think that that sat in the background of my unconscious, subconscious for a minute, and just hope, and to have hope that I have delivered the best dharma, Pali, Dhamma, medicine into their veins in the best way I know how, attacking it on all angles, no different than an eye doctor trying to attack a bacteria in the eye, on surface and in the eye, where he applies IV into the back of the eye so that the antibacterial medicine can attack it from the back, and he puts additional antibacterial drops, hydrocortisone, whatever. in front of the eye, attacking it both ways to ensure that he's going to kill Serratia bacteria. Of course, the existence of ignorance, that's why I was there. I mean, because if they all have PhDs, I wouldn't be there. And my job is to be the glowing light of Dharma, to shine the way, the light, for them to see alternatives, and you don't have to be sad. You're gonna make it. And I'm here to tell you that I'm assessing, and I was very honest about my assessment, my evaluation, what I was doing. Don't ever lie to kids. They'll figure it out, you know. And I went there and I said, this is who I am. This is what I do. I have 19 years of social work. Here's my card. And at first, I'd like to interview you, and you tell me what's been aching your heart, headaches, heartaches. Tell me. The more honest you are to me, the more I can help piece this family back together. Obviously, it's been torn apart in many angles. So but I can help piece this family back together. Obviously, it's been torn apart in many angles. So but so far, the many cases I've worked here in the United States, central United States, and on the east side of the United States, or northeast side of the United States, um, you know, these phones I got in front of me, let me show y'all right here. They haven't gone off yet. Because when someone commits suicide, it goes off. When somebody kills somebody, it goes off. When somebody gets arrested, it goes off. When a parent cannot sleep at night, it goes off. And when it goes off, I know that, oh, wow. All right, maybe we should try a different medicine. All right, 84,000 teachings. My job to choose. And keep on choosing which one. It hasn't gone off, so I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Again, not flexing, an honest report. Because if I don't say it, y'all wouldn't know. But I will write a book. Trust me. All the cases that I'm working, some information needs to be changed for the privacy of their family. We need to respect, because obviously they're probably going to be alive, at the time of publishing. Who wants their business out there, right? So just like any other book, needs to change some identifying markers. But I pray to have the time to do that. Obviously, you all can, since you guys came here, to listen tonight, just all of the competing priorities. Am I missing anything, Novice D? I think I got it right. Because along the ways, all of my novices, I let them know what's happening moment to moment, so that they also capture like a picture in their head, and a timeline, and chronological, so that if I miss something, I have all these assistant to the venerable, assistant to Ajahn, assistant to the office of Ajahn, to remind me, so I don't skip a beat or miss a beat into my work. Very fast-paced work. I describe myself as probably like emergency physician medicine, but in the Buddhist Dharma world. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. Can you all believe it? Just boom, like that, I was on a plane, and it boom, like that, 2 days went by. like my life is a movie. I've said that so many times, and no one from Hollywood reached out to start filming me. Right? All these novices are going to be left to tell the story. Okay, now we move on to some good news about Wat Don Do. Thank you all for contributing to Wat Don Do. Recently, I have shared. So when someone posts something, you can hit share, and it shares on your timeline on both of my Facebook accounts, Wat Don Do's activity, and the new baby novice. He's so cute. They were trying to, one of the novices that was traveling with me, did he? Oh, no, one of the novices that was doing Bindabat with me is now teaching. I forgot the young novice's name. I got to go back here. So let's not do that. Let's move on for a second. Is teaching the little baby novice how to say, I pay my respect and homage to the blessed one, the worthy one, the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa. Hold on. Hold on. This is worth it. I got to pull it up. I showed this to my mom, and she was like, oh. And I was like, I know, Mom. I know that's why the money needs to go to the monastery and often, because it just brings joy to my heart when I see something like this over. Oh my God, there he is! Namo. Panggil namo. Tasa. Tasa. Kaka. Kaka. Wato. Wato. Ala. Ala. Ato. Ato. Sama. Sama. Camput. Camput. Tasa. Tasa. Oh, amay, amay, amay. This is a dirt poor country, and this is a dirt poor monastery. Whoever holding that phone recording, God, Buddha, Dhamma bless them, because it is like crystal clear quality for everyone to hone in on that profound moment of monastic training for, I don't know, how old is he? Like 5? Let me get his name. Let me pull up Ajahn Saidon's message and myself. What is his name? Projector. His name is Novice Sayo, and it's spelled so cool. Xaiyyo. That's so catchy for millennials and Zoomers and Gen Alpha. He is 4 years old, and his story was his mom passed away, and his father always drunk. I don't know where he is now, comma. Nobody takes care of him, comma. He is only 4 years old. That is a direct message from Ajahn Saidon to my phone. Your Honor, I'd like to enter this video and text messages as Exhibit 1 for the jury. This is why I consent. If you are a federal agent, you can check my phone all day, every day. Bank accounts, have at it. Go for it. On July 28th, the Venerable Ajahn Saidon Abbot, today I go to Thailand for buying the robes. Recently, 2 of the senior monks there, senior to the novices, I believe they have a 8-year vasa, and the other one could be a 5-year vasa or 4 years. I'm not sure. But when I left Laos, what is it? Well, 4 or 5 months ago, I can't even remember. I left all of my robes there, and I only carried, I think, like 2 robes. Over here in the United States, most of my luggage was carrying Long Posat. To my right here, I got this in California. This is Long Posat. Okay. All right, but I carried Long Posat in the figurine where he's wearing our same cloth for inspiration for people to come when they visit me and they meditate and they get to meditate, you know, to be the ambition to be an arahant. Okay, it's a part of my program. We'll get to that. And then obviously, can you please pronounce his name? Longpo. You're muted. Longpo Tajibo. Man, I can never pronounce Thai the correct way. Oh. Po Dattajibo. Dattagivo. Isn't that cool? Look at that. You know? Okay. So anyway. Oh. So now the senior monks over there to the novices are wearing my robes. And I was like, oh, that may put to good use, right? Who has that feeling where you donate something to the thrift store, or you donate something to somebody, you give something to somebody, and then you get to watch it unfold that they're using it. So not only that, it was high quality robes, for the record. It was made in Burma. And then the other one was made in Thailand, but it was specifically made for summer. And so I got lucky, right? Because I didn't know these things. I honestly did not know that there were different types of cotton. How am I supposed to know? My training is use what's being given to you. And then I'm like, okay, like, like my one time I asked my teacher, I'm like, is there like small, large, like different size robes? And he turned around with the most serious face. It was his bad day. And he says, no, they're all the same. And he turned back around while we were eating lunch. And then like I looked closely at his robes, and it had an L on the robes, like a little tiny stamp had an L. And I was like, well, in my head, right? I wouldn't dare to challenge him, or a great way to get kicked out of the temple. And I was like, in my head, like, well, why does his say L? Until this very present day, there was one time, oh God, I'm getting old. Okay, so this one is unmarked. It's what we call it. Well, this one actually, technically, it is marked. So, but there's a couple ones that is unmarked. See, it's marked here in Thailand. These are double layer robes, and this is the measurement 2 times 3, whatever. One time I opened up a pair of orange robes, and they were made for kids. There was a sangati in there. There was a sabong. I was like, how am I gonna fit in this? Nothing on the. I can't retie. I'm thinking they're all the same. I opened this thing up. Sabong is the undergarment. It's just a square piece, it's like a skirt. And I'm like, what? How? Just the look on my face. Uh, I mean, too bad there's like not a camera in my room, right? When you see some of the look on my expression, some of these things that happen. So obviously that went to novice Ethan, because novice Ethan is 13. Oh, so I just shake my head. Like $75. So then we move on to higher quality robes, and then I learned like this thing called Michelin robes. Like, what on earth is Michelin robes? So they stretch, um, and they last long. And I got to witness that in Laos, and I'm like, that's pretty hot in Laos to wear Michelin, because it's like spandex. Trust me, when it's that hot, you should go for cotton, but cotton doesn't last long. Just trust me. These little small details in there, right? Why are we talking about this, by the way? Because we have to be eco-friendly to choose the right robes for the novices or monks. Number one, last long. Number two, the colors don't fade that quickly. They're very reckless in Thailand. That's why I call out Thailand manufacturing industries. Y'all cannot just seem to get it right, or I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on over there. I just don't know. But the Buddha gave us instructions to reduce our robes down to the fact that we can't use it anymore for any reason, for anything. To cut it down, to make rags out of them, to clean with them. I mean, so I don't like to be wasteful. So again, present during this live is Novice D, and I gave Novice D my retired robes. And there's no way. Matter of fact, I'm thinking in my head, maybe I should drag it back out and make my mom sew it in a sewing machine. 2 robes together to make a double ply layer, like these ones are. These ones are by, I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty cool. So these are classified as winter robes. And then see if I can reuse those retired robes. And they're about 9 separate robes. The sabangs have been recycled to make robes already, but the G1, right? G1, the G1s, about 9 G1s. And novice D's you got 3 or 2?
I got 3.
Okay, 3. He's making good use of them. Kathina's coming up. So I did everybody this great favor because I was working this case 48 hours. I didn't have time to jump on my TikTok and tell y'all, Kathina on the way, make your donations. So I took the liberty to go see Miss Young in Hollywood, and picked up robes for my novices, because waiting for people to come and donate is gonna take forever. Just waiting for people takes forever, right? This is gonna go hand in hand with what happened earlier when I was doing research and researching a case that I'm gonna be working on impulsive decisions and addiction. And I can't really tell you much about the case because I'm still figuring it out, but it has to do with buying things impulsively and how the general public does that. I think all of us does that without thinking the science behind why I should buy it, where should I buy it, and why do I need it? Is it a need or a want? So I'm trying to treat that case of addiction, and people do that to fill the empty void and a bunch of other reasons. It dawned on me how fast you all can also make a donation by clicking whatever that PayPal or Zelle or it's amazing. It's like, I grew up in an era where you had to like buy money order or, a check and you send it in the mail. So to me, as a millennial, sometimes I think about how fast you all can send donation is like it's like enlightening to me. So therefore, in observance for Katina, let us not forget the importance of the requisites for monks, and one of the requisites is robes. But this time around, this year, we're going to do it more intelligently. At least, no, this for 9 years. For 9 years, going on my 10th, I had been using cheap cotton robes that was donated, and people don't know. No one knows unless you manufacture these things or whatever. And the people who sell them knows. But to monks, we don't know. We open it up, we don't think about it. We wash it, we wear it, we wash it, we wear it. And regretfully, I wish that I had not made such a big pile. It's beyond my control. I don't know what I don't know. This year, we need to get quality Michelin robes. That's that's my point. So that it lasts longer, so that we don't waste cotton and materials. And that's why you see H&M all into sustainability and sustainable this and that. And then there's microplastics in things and it can cause cancer. I don't know what's going on with the clothing industry, but so I'm asking. Oh, hold on, I can't ask. God, 227 rules at 2 in the morning. I cannot ask you for anything except a cup of water. So if you feel compelled to donate, because you're far away, you cannot attend a monastery, and you would like to see Wat Don do, the monastery in Laos, capital of Laos, receive additional robes and the robes that I had to dip into my reserves to get the robes because I could examine them, I could see them, um, and I could question Miss Young, but she knows her stuff, by the way. So that I can bring back quality robes for my novices and to the continuation of my own programs without costing more money necessarily. My job is to protect money and donation that comes in so that it goes to the suicide program to save more people. We shouldn't be dipping into money for requisites that are deemed wouldn't last long, not good for the environment, making a mess. It's a mess. So, and then of course the many challenges. The donation also goes to the many challenges of traveling in the next week to Arizona. Very hot. Transportation. Um, so all of these are not in the four requisites, but I think that you all are sensitive to the needs of a monk and to protect the monk. Obviously, if you'd like to see me walk in Arizona a couple blocks and faint and go in the ER and get IV, and then costing taxpayers money, thousands of dollars because I went into the ER because, I don't have money to take Uber or don't have money for transportation, that's another different story. But just sit there, be creative. The purpose of tonight's talk is number one, you all got a debrief or a short brief of the debrief, because I can't go into great details yet. I mean, I can go into the methods and mode, but I can't go into great depths and details of people's lives yet. Okay, just because give it time. People need time to process and then give permission for full access. So partial of the case is being sealed, and I can only give surface level so that you all understand. And if you all want to utilize my service for your own family, then you realize that sometimes I can fix certain families, you know, preferably a week and not 2 days. But it was just so urgent. Number two, what Don do is doing okay, but they need more resources. That's why I'm doing this. So today's talk is broken into two sectors, three actually, including my novice programs. Four actually, counting the fact that I'm traveling to Arizona for monastic meetings, and all these things are going to contribute to knowledge and the decisions, the very important decisions that will be made at a temple there. So we're making waves again in observance for the Kathina ceremony and the ceremony of honoring father and mother, also known as Vulang, VU space LAN. You can look it up on Google, Vulang. So I've been asked to go over there to give a talk at Vulang and have very important meetings with multiple abbots, multiple abbots. So that will take place, and that will also take place in the state of California, because neighboring right there. This abbot is a very influential man, and so he wants to showcase me with the other abbots. So we're just gonna have at it and see where it goes and where the meeting is going to take place and what changes needs to be made, and the just the many challenges that's facing Buddhism right now amidst the economy, amidst the rising crime rates in California and crime rates in Arizona. These are all hotspots where Buddhism is needed and warranted. So again, I'd like everyone to really utilize your creativity, your heart, the priority of charity in your heart, and the expression of generosity buying through giving more and taking less. And if you do feel a little called out about impulsive buying, about getting on Amazon and all of a sudden you're bored, people eat when they're bored and people buy things when they're bored. And the impact of what you have when you click and Amazon is activated and it'll be here tomorrow morning at or tomorrow afternoon by 2 or something like that. Y'all know what's going on. But I want you all to think about making a deep, great, significant impact by donating to my program and or what Don do directly to Ajahn Saidon Kamakmeong. I need to repost that so you all spell it right, to get Western Union directly to him. So you can choose whatever you choose. If you believe this is a scam, you can hang up and dial your local FBI field office. If you are a federal agent, you can have unprecedented access onto all of my accounts and messaging to ensure the integrity and purity of the teachings and Buddhism. My job is to ensure that everything is true and correct and the money goes where it needs to go. Simple. Because other people that went before me messed up. No different than any other religion in the world. So every time when I do this or present a compelling case in regards to fundings and where the funding needs to go, I always give my disclosure. That's what makes Ajahn Chidao different. Again, if you need counseling, please reach out. And hopefully, if we have enough resources, we can happily get another novice going. Perhaps in the next 2 days. Again, the 2-day thing. My luck, my karma. And you all will slowly get to see Novice D's ordination, because that was also. You want to tell people just briefly what we had to do for your ordination, Novice D?
went out to the beach. It was really nice. A lot of people watched us. The water was nice. Everything was nice. It was really cool. And it was.
I know it's cool. I made it cool. I want you to tell them what a rush it was for me.
Oh, we did everything under like 30 minutes.
With photographers. Oh man, a picture worth a thousand words, and a picture can inspire millions of people. So Novice D tried to get ordination at his local monastery. Couldn't happen. Requested me, obtained permission from his parents to be ordained, but the local monastery couldn't do it. And I said, "Well, you want me to do it? Because you're running out of time. School's going to start back up, and we need to do things quickly." So my life, my karma, but I made it work. So when I get old, I have bragging rights, right? Bragging rights. I mean, I can sit there and brag and say, "Yeah, I can fix families in 2 days, and I can ordain people in 30 minutes, and then just move on with it and get on with it." And then because we had extra ropes, so we need ropes. I need ropes. Okay, I think everyone get the point. I don't want to say it anymore. I gotta go to sleep. It's 2:35 again. So reflect on the teachings, and for Katina, please donate as much as you can so that I can announce your names, like I always do to all the donors. Thank you, Miss Vantana, not to be mistaken with Dana. Okay, with Vantana. So we have some of these donors who always keeps us in mind, that they understand the challenges, the never-ending challenges, and so they made it their mission to always make donations monthly. So hopefully we have more of those recurring. People cannot see. Oh, okay. Uh, and then I'm still recovering from the California trip, but I realized if I didn't make this talk tonight, people's minds will jump. Remember, the word sati means mindfulness, but it also means remember to observe how your mind is jumping. And right now, at the time of this talk, there are thousands of people who are watching, and your mind jumps from one thing to another. And not to mention, we are the product of hunters and gatherers. So we were Homo habilis, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus. So what did we humans do? Well, we hunted. That's why people get angry and they kill each other. Practice of metta, loving kindness. And then we're also gatherers. What do we gather? Well, back in the day, we gathered sticks and stuff to make houses, and But nowadays, we hoard. We buy things unnecessarily, right? So tonight's talk is to aim for that purpose. So if you're going to gather, gather merits instead of gathering material things and waste money and realize that I'm really not making a difference. And there are monasteries out there that don't have the requisites: medicine, clothing, shelter. For novices, and meaning and purpose in our lives is to help other people through it. That's where I receive my joy. And by the way, I left one story out. When I got there in Los Angeles, and one of the kid, aka lawyer, asked me, "So I'm wondering, you must be making money if you come all the way from Florida into our home to talk to us." And I said, "No, no, your aunt got me the plane ticket, buying through her friends, and that whole network of connections over there of, hey, Chidao is a great guy, you should try him out, and get him a plane ticket. But this counseling service is free." So then the child said, "Yeah, but someone's got to be making money off of this." And I redirected him again. I said, "Right, right, the system, yes, yes, other people make money. Me coming here talking to your family is free." So after it was said and done, and the truth came out, towards the end, it was the same child, aka lawyer, comes out with an envelope, and inside the envelope was $300. And so that's how we inspire people, buying through our own change, by the living by principle of purity and integrity. And then the Buddha says three things cannot be hidden: the truth. Hold on. The sun, the moon, and the truth. So not only did I believe that I fixed the problem. Hopefully, it won't reoccur. But I've also inspired both young men what charity looks like, what generosity looks like, what a life of all giving looks like. Additionally, there was a Hispanic man who was trying to make a living selling fruits and flowers on Sunday. And I can't remember. I got to go back to the video. So I got out of the car and I said, I'm going to give him $40. Expect nothing in return. Went back to the car, shut the door, off we goes. So of course these kids have never seen such act of generosity before. And when I went there in 2 days, I made a deep and everlasting impact. So today, let us reflect on making a deep and everlasting impact in the lives of other people. I'd like to conclude my talk. Thank you so much for being wonderful listeners and a willingness to be here with me, especially 2 in the morning if you're into this live. My blessing for all of you. Sabi tiyo wiwan chan sa parogo wina sa tumate bawan tuan tarayo sukidi ha yuko bawa abiwan da nasiles and chang buta bajanino chataro tamawadan ya yuano sokang palang. May you all be healed. May you all realize the light of your own true nature. May you reflect on the teaching of Dana, on giving. If we live a good life, when we get older, we can relive it again. Let us reflect on giving and how we can access the memory of that giving now and forever. Let us also not forget that this is something that no one can ever take away from you. Even if you are stuck in sickness at a bed or hospice, even if you are stuck in jail or prison, no one can take the memory of all the good deeds away that you have done in this lifetime. May you all be healed and be a significant source of healing for other people. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Novice Decence, are you still there? Would you like to give people a shout out on the impact of the novice program, uh, the impact it has in your life, on your life, in your life? I can't get my grammar straight tonight. The impact that it has on your life, in your life or on your life. God, getting old. Please tell people, Ms. Vantana and Dr. Kim, Dr. Julian, for the contributions, significant contributions that they have made, and how it went to you as a student in high school struggling to get a job and participating in this program. Just tell people how you feel.
I feel really great having this opportunity to be ordained under the one and only Ajahn Gidao, and it's been really cool, really fun, and I've been using a lot of his teachings into my daily life, like giving more than taking less, taking less, giving more to others, and he's given me like many books to read, like the Dhammapada. It's been really good. I can use it against my own life, education. I can use it against anything. That is basically teachings of the Buddha in little verses in a small book, and it's been really useful. And the teachings that Ajahn Gidao gives me are really impactful on me and a lot of people around the world. And I just want to say thank you, Ajahn Gidao, and to the others that's been donating to the Novice Monk program, and to me, novices around the world. So thank you very much.
Okay. So, all right. I'm like echoing on the other side because he's watching the live too as he's contributing. Man, we're like Hollywood monks, huh? Um, so he's smiling on my screen right now. Um, I'll never forget that smile on the children's face towards the end, and I shared that with Dr. Kim. Um, and the fact that I came into their lives and it was rough for them, and to see how their heart eased, the easing of one's heart, the burden, the weight in one's heart lifted up, mitigated in some way, shape, or form, and to just glance over with my big old eyeballs and to see that smile crack up, and they realize that everything is going to be okay is priceless. And I wish that you all were here with me, and I wish that I could carry you all. I mean, I try to carry you guys as much as I can with me. Notice the thousands of videos in the moment videos, this video, that video. I don't even know how what the world thinks of me. Because when I'm having talks like this, my face is so serious. And then when I'm out and about in public, you see the joy and laughter with my students. And so I really try to make this transparent and try to carry you all. That's why there's so many media devices here to share the joy and to witness life-changing events in people's lives. So again, more to come, and just wait for it. And if you missed some of the key talks, I am trying to partner up with a Rinpoche, 30-something-year-old Rinpoche. Wait, hold on, I think he's approaching 30, not 30-something-year-old. Very, very, very enlightening individual. So y'all just gonna have to wait in store to see who the next novice is. I mean, I haven't even published novice D's yet, so we're gonna have time to edit videos, and then the next novice, which I'll release his first letter name is starts with an L. Go with that because it keeps you guys guessing. And then the Rinpoche in December, hopefully December or so, because his agenda plan, he travels a lot too. All right, so I'm excited. So hopefully you all are excited here in Buddhism. Take care until the very next time.